Sanbanan. Ubaba Jacob kedle ihlekisa Zuma. Yeah, man, it's no secret. I like the guy. I voted for the guy. Um, our ex-president, Mr. Jacob Zuma. So again, he was trending yesterday because he went to prison. He got arrested. Went to prison. Um, because he failed to appear for the Zondo Commission to testify as a witness. Arm still So yesterday he got arrested, and then they processed him, and within an hour they sent him back home. So our current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, what he did is that he pardoned all the low-level, non-violent criminals, and they all got released. So this is about 9,500 criminals that were released yesterday, of which Ubaba Gedlehlekisa is one of them. You know, again, as a fan of this guy who I believe is entertaining and charismatic and is smart and all these things, you know, I was like, okay, guy is over 80 years old, going back home. But then I actually sat down and I said, hey, you know, let me move my bias aside. And let's actually unpack this. You know, let's actually really look at it within the scope of South Africa and what South Africa is going through. Let's say it was a different politician, a politician that I may not like, a politician who may not be my skin color, a politician who may not be part of the political party that I align to. You know, how would I feel? How would I feel that all of this is happening just so that they can release him? I know it is packaged within getting rid of, or releasing rather, the 9,000 plus non-violent criminals. But if we look at the process and how everything was processed within like an hour, you know, yesterday Jacob Zuma goes into prison at 6 in the morning. At like 8, he's at home sipping on tea, you know. So again, when you look at all those processes, you go, nah, fam, there's things that don't make sense. Listening to Ubheki underplay, our Minister of Police underplay this, and he was saying he doesn't understand why there's an uproar, because this is the third phase of them releasing criminals. So they released, I think it was 14,000 in 2018. They released 19,000 during COVID-19, and now they're releasing 9,500. And they're saying it's due to a lack of beds or lack of what's. And I'm like, fucking hell, Begicele. You know, yes, it doesn't translate necessarily to the fact that they released 42,000 prisoners, because we do know that in South Africa it's a lot of repeat offenders. But you fucking releasing prisoners. You know, anyone that knows anything about prison, they know that it is an institution to learn about how to do more fucking heinous crimes. You know, so if you were stealing a Toyota Taz and they arrest you as a non-violent criminal, all of a sudden when you go back to prison, or you go to prison, you now learn how to fucking steal Ford Fiestas. You now learn how to study Ford Rangers. You learn how to study to steal, because it's an institution for criminals with other criminals. You know, so now they get released back into the world being smarter in terms of their criminal activity. So again, I'm like, bro, don't you want to fucking sort out the bedding situation, the prison situation, rather than just saying, hey, South Africa, I know you guys have high crime. Hey, South Africa, I know there's rape, there's GBV. Here are tens of thousands of criminals. Hewa, go for it. I'm listening to all these other political Umalema saying, yeah, he's old. It's if they don't release Ubaba Uzuma, it's going to create unrest. Hi, guys. So now, whenever there's a situation, we can't arrest this person, it's going to create unrest and riots. How about we sort that shit out instead of being held captive by the fact that we're scared that if we do the right thing, there will be strikes, there will be riots, there'll be... No, when you do the right thing, you do the right thing. And when there's criminal activity, you sort that shit out. So you're not held captive to that shit. I was like, hi, Malema, what are you trying to do? What tendencies are you trying to push as well? And you're like, all this shit just before an elective year. And then, oh my gosh, our friends from across the way. So now you've got the DF, you've got AfriForum, you've got... It becomes a racial thing. Because The black political parties are pro Zuma getting released. The white political parties are anti it. There we go. This is what they do best. If we miss this shit, it happens time and time and time again, where it is white versus black. Constantly. Constantly. And what us South Africans that are just trying to fucking sort this shit out, sort out the crime, sort out the Eskom, sort out the this, sort out the that, now we split into camps. There's a white camp, DA, AfriForum camp. There's the EFF, ANC camp. And that's what will happen. And we're just going to be shouting across the way. No one is going to be sitting down and trying to be sitting in the middle and saying, look, this is that. How can we align? How can we fix this? But again, it goes back to the fact that we live in a mafia state, guys. We live in a state where it's the political elite that control and dictate and change the law like this. You have Upegicele saying, well, it was in the law. It was within the realms of the law. You guys fucking change the law just to suit your prerogative, just to suit your narrative. Constantly, we see it time and time and time and time again. This is a mafia state. If you guys don't know about that, we are in shit. They separate us. The political elite are at the top. The rest of us, middle to lower class, we're just trying to fight for scraps. And what they do is that they separate us based on racial lines. And then we fight each other. He's white, he's black, he's a male, he's a female, he's a that, he's a that. And we fight each other while them at the top, they're busy laughing all the fucking way to the bank. Guys, mafia fucking state. Eskom, there's a lady, the whistleblower, like Authority Musi. Usisi is so she's a forensic manager, I think, and what she's meant to do is that she's meant to investigate why things aren't running as efficiently at Eskom, and she does, and she did an amazing job, and she found out, hey, there's actually cartels that are not doing what they're meant to doing. So we are busy signing off purchase orders, whatever the case may be. They're saying they're doing this work, but it's not being done, so as a result, we're paying people who aren't doing shit. So she investigates, she sends these things to the police, to the Hawks, whatever the case may be. More digging. Finds out that her manager in Eskom is part of this shit, Then the guy allegedly goes and puts a hit on her, So she gets a phone call from Nkabi, who is now saying he was paid 400,000 Rand if he got the job done. When I first initially heard the story, I was just thinking around Jessie Smollett, hey, maybe she's lying, people always, in South Africa, in the world. Then it hit me. Look, we live again in a state where things are, lawlessness, Nkabi, the hitman, is a huge part of the South African political landscape. It is a huge part of our taxis. It is a huge part of business. It's a huge part where instead of competing with you, I just send a hitman, boom, you dead. Instead of things being done in the right way, I send a hitman, boom, you dead. Usisi Lona Authority is trying to fix Eskom from her department. She's trying to find out where the shortfalls are. She's trying to find out what things aren't done properly. And she's saying, look, let's fix this. These are the criminals. Let's arrest them. And what does her manager do? Allegedly put a hitman on her to get her out the way. Guys, if it's not our ex-presidents being released with tens of thousands of other criminals into the streets of South Africa who are repeat offenders, as we know, it is hitmen being sent out on people who are just doing their job, who are trying to do right by people. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And the rest of us, we're sitting busy fighting each other. We're sitting busy fighting each other instead of understanding that the only solution is for us to come together. It's not about voting for that party or that party. All of it is bullshit. All of it is bullshit. Let me say it again. All of it is bullshit. All of these guys just want one thing. They want power. They want supreme power over the rest of us and make us dance as their puppets. We as the people need to come together. Whether you're green, blue, pink, tall, short, fat, skinny, doesn't matter. Let's come together and we need to sort this shit out. Guys, Nyansanda, have a fantastic day. Sharp.